Gauteng Agriculture and Rural Development MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa says the government has plans as well as strategies in place to eradicate poverty, especially among children. She was speaking at the launch of the child poverty study, and SABC News reporter Dludla was there and filed the story for us.
We are here in Jabavu, Soweto, invited by the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund. The keynote speaker today was the MEC of Agriculture and Rural Development. That would be MEC Vuyiswa Ramokgopa. Thank you very much, MEC, for your time. You were a keynote speaker today, tackling challenges facing children, especially when it comes to poverty. Tell us about the event of today and the involvement of your office.
Okay, thank you very much. Today's launch was of the child poverty study, which is a study that is commissioned by the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund and executed by Deloitte Africa. And what that study does is it actually now starts to give us an idea of how many children in particular suffer from poverty in the country. And of course it looks at a number of different elements around health, around access to food and hunger issues, but also the effects of education on poverty. And what they try to do is they try to actually quantify and then say, what is the impact therefore on child poverty on our economy as a whole? So, for example, we can say, a certain sector contributes a certain amount to the GDP, but do we understand how much poverty costs us in this country? The number of children that are denied opportunities, that are denied access to education, that cannot then go on and contribute to the economy. And so they've estimated that that number is somewhere close to about 1.7 trillion rand, which is the cost of child poverty on the South African economy.
You were saying 13 million children are living in hunger.
Yeah.
That is shocking.
It is. It's really shocking that as it stands right now, of the 17 million children in South Africa, 13 million are defined as living in poverty. So that's well beyond the majority of children. And when we talk about hunger, it's important to be specific. We are talking about children who are not guaranteed even one meal a day. So and we also know that many children are getting their one meal a day from the food nutrition program. So 48% of children get their food from the food nutrition programs, which means obviously if there were to be a disturbance to that program, we'd have an even much bigger crisis on our hands. And so we are saying the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund has created this study, but it's not just about doing research. It's now about saying what next. So, and that's really why we have come today, because as the Gauteng Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, we are very focused on the issue of hunger and ensuring that we end hunger in our communities by 2030. And that means we're going to invest. We have already started the work of helping people to establish their own food gardens, grow their own food, sell their own food, and produce locally. Small-scale farming is something that we are also supporting. You don't need hectares and hectares of land to be able to grow your own food. What we need to do is actually ensure that people are capacitated to grow food close to where they live, and if they can even have extra and they want to sell extra, they can then go on and do so.